Hi everyone, it's Michelle at Serendipity House. You're on the DIY paint page for Paint Therapy with Michelle. This is my new time, so I used to be 8 o'clock on Friday nights. So I hope I've got some people that watched me on Fridays join in and some new folks as well. Say hello when you come on. I have a task today to recreate a finish. I've got a picture that I printed out just on my printer, so I don't have a whole lot to go by. Have an idea, haven't had time to do practice boards. Let's see, I've got that with me. If I seem too far away while I'm doing this, then let me know. Hi Suzanne, let me know and I will just zoom you guys right in. I was trying to see if I could get actually my head and the whole thing instead of zooming in, but all right, I'm going to show you a picture. We're doing a desk. Here's the desk. There's a foot piece to it also that goes right down there, and that's what we're going to paint first as opposed to the top of the desk, since I've not done this before. I'm sorry, here we go. So here's a picture of what I'm trying to recreate. The desk is a Lane piece of furniture that I had kind of a laminate top. So I sanded it down, I primed it, and I've got 2 coats of crinoline and a coat of Big Top on it. But now we have to create this kind of a speckling. So I've got all my tools ready and I'm going to see if you have ideas, I will take them. All right, so let's get started. Where are you guys watching from? I'm in New Hampshire. It is so cold. It has been like 15 degrees out, and I keep forgetting that it's so cold, which means I'm forgetting, oh, you still can't see my head, so maybe I'll move you guys in closer. There's really no way to have the camera. All right, hold on. I'm just gonna move you in closer so you can see what I'm doing, and you don't need to see my face. All right. With the camera on the wide angle instead of the tall one, I haven't figured out a way to get everything in unless I'm sitting, and I can't do this sitting down. I have to be over the top of it. Okay, there we go, that's a little better. So as I was saying, I keep forgetting that it's so cold outside, which means I keep forgetting to warm my car up, which is a real drag. Oh, good. Look at everybody on. Hi, Suzanne, Mary, Ann, Kathy, Linda, Michelle. I hope some of you are having warmer weather. All right, I'm just going to put a cloth on this. And so this is the bottom piece. So I feel a little safer doing this first. So this sits down on the bottom, and then I would assume feet are going to be on this. So I'm going to be putting extra Big Top on that. All right, and I'm gonna put you guys right here. Nancy in Southern California, I bet you have nice weather. All right, here's what I have for tools. So I think that weathered wood, did you guys see the, I'm gonna show you the picture again in case some of you just came on after I showed it. I've got some weathered wood, which I think is gonna do it. I've got my short brushes, and I chose these because these are the DIY blending brush. I chose these because they're nice and wide, and I'm gonna try to dry brush it. What I'm worried about, that I really am not that great at, is that it's a really long piece, and I don't like it to look broken up. And if those don't work, or I need to use something wider on the top, I have my Klingon B12, which is a nice wide brush. And then for the little tiny spatters, I've got a toothbrush. All right, so that's what we're doing. Let me just show you the picture one more time. I'm gonna try not to be too critical. We're gonna try to resemble this, but it's not gonna look exactly like this. This is obviously a factory finish of some sort. Okay, well, let's do this. This is sealed, by the way. And I can't actually read your... There we go. I need an assistant. This is all too much to read and trying to prop you up here. Prop you up on the rags so I can read comments. So exciting. Okay, so I've poured this out on my plate, the weathered wood. I also have water on standby. I always have water to dip into, but I don't know how many of you have dry brushed before. I'm gonna go for dry brushing, which means that obviously my brush is dry, but also I'm not gonna wet it a whole lot with the paint. Okay, it's just, you don't want a lot on it. I'm a little kind of scared to do this first little pass over, and my friend Michelle, who belongs to this desk, said she was gonna be watching. Hi Susan, hi Kathy, Nancy. All right, here we go. I'm just gonna start down here. All right, that's so dry, it's not even coming off. But you know what, I don't want lines, so we're just going with it. All right, barely there. All right, the part that I find difficult that I'm not good at is right here where I touched my brush down. I don't like seeing that. Let's see, this is why I have water. I think that might look a little too obvious there. So, because I've already sealed it, okay, so, oh, actually that's good. So I just blended that in. So that was just water and a cloth. I feel like this is a very subtle finish. Hopefully you can see something. Actually, I'm looking at the camera and it doesn't look like you can see anything. Let me move you down closer. Let's see if I can get you like right on top of it. If you can't see me, you might as well be able to see nice and close up what I'm trying to do here. Oh, let's see. Sorry guys, I did try to have this done first. That's better. So now hopefully you'll be able to see what I'm doing. Is that good? As long as it doesn't tip over on us, which it could just fall right onto my piece. Okay, here we go. So we've got the weathered wood, dry brushing, so I'm barely touching it in. I'm gonna wipe it off the ends here so the more pressure I'm putting, the more it's kind of coming off. I checked with Michelle, who owns the desk, yesterday to say, all right, this is simple, so do you want me to fancy it up? And she did, so I'm pretty excited. All right, that came off a little too dark. So I'm just adding pressure and there's a little more paint kind of coming off. I want to get the edges. Because I primed, I wasn't really able to distress a whole lot. All right, how's that look? All right, it looks a little patchy. Let's see. Let's just blend out some of those patches. I've got very little water on here because I don't want to smudge it really. And I'm imagining when this is kind of at your feet, it probably is not going to look splotchy. Okay, a little bit more. Has anybody done this before? I could use some pointers. I'm just kind of looking at the picture and going with it. It's hard sometimes, you know, blended looks are easy for me, but to recreate, like, you know, I don't know exactly what they did in that picture. All right, I think that that's good. I gotta stand back from it instead of looking at it on camera. It's a little patchy, but I think that is okay, actually, because I'm gonna be pickier on the top. And you know what? I'm trying to copy a factory finish, but it's not gonna be a factory finish because it's just me. All right, I'm happy with that. Let's try the spatter. There was a little bit, let's look at the picture. I actually think it's wormholes, but I definitely see some dots in there. and I want to capture that. So my way to do that is the toothbrush. How do you guys do it? And I'm not sure how wet. You know what, I've done this mostly with when I'm using golden ticket and I want to splash it. So I'm just dipping a little bit into my paint here, and let's see. I don't want too much. All right. I also have a lot of other things going on in here, so. But I think that doing this might kind of tie that. Of course, look at I got a toothbrush that's ergonomically shaped for your mouth, so it's not as easy to do. Oh yeah. Can you see that? Okay, that actually really helps the stripes. Oh, I love it. I hope the top comes out good. I'm a little worried about the top. You know, because it's going to be so visible. I have got so many projects going on right now, you guys. I don't know if you guys don't follow my page, I would love a follow. I'm over at Serendipity House LLC. I don't know, I can't really see the spatters on camera, but I'm going to hold them up and then I'm going to do the top of the desk. See that? So I'm happy with that. I'm going to put that aside. I'm sure I'll go back and change it or tweak it or whatever. But I'm going to let that dry first because the spatters are obviously thicker. And okay. Here we go. This part's a little scary. All right. I guess I'm going to start back here, and I'm going to be doing the same thing that I did. I don't think I need a new brush. I think it definitely pulls a stripe. It's like first they were stripes and then it looked more like a finish, Suzanne. That's what I thought too. You think a little water? Because our paint is thick, I could try adding a little bit of water. That might not be a bad idea. I don't want it too slippery though. All right, I'll take suggestions and do them. This is a little thick and it's been sitting here a bit. So Suzanne suggested adding a little water. I'm gonna add just a touch. I still wanna have a dry brush, but I don't know if I were using a different kind of paint that wasn't so thick. I don't think watering is necessary really. But this actually might help it glide and not get stuck. If it doesn't, I'll just add a little bit more paint to it if it's too wet. So there we go. Thanks for the suggestion. Where did I put that down? Okay, I think I did just a little, but I have a kind of heavy hand too. All right. And it can wipe off because I've got my big top on here. All right, so I'm barely, actually. I'm barely touching. You know, it almost made, in the picture, it was almost like the color, you really had to separate it out because the dark kind of browned the color. But I think actually crinoline is a pretty good match for the underneath. Whoops. All right, let's get that off. It was either crinoline or I was gonna try the new color, tarnished pearl, but that didn't quite look. All right, I just wanna, there we go. We'll blend those dark spots, blend the ends here. Okay, it's pretty easy to manipulate. Let's keep going. I may as well leave my water out. I can't tell if it didn't, because my brush is so dry, it's not really making that big of a difference, Suzanne. Actually, look, I just got way too much there. And also look, my arm, I totally don't have a straight arm. Michelle, if you're watching me do your desk, don't freak out. I got this. I got this, girl. Now I'm thinking, do I like that better where it's can you see where it's kind of smudged out? No, actually, you know what? That looks too stripy. But I'm going to take that off. And this is why I like to use my big top first. So where I just wiped it, it was blending it, but it looked blended as opposed to whatever is sitting on top of the picture. All right, so do-over. Do-overs are good. All right. Here we go. I'm wondering if this comes off too heavy. Well, I don't need to change brushes just because I have to. I don't need to use two, right? That's usually what I do when I'm dry brushing is. I'm just gonna put some on and then work with it once it's on. We'll refer back to our picture in a minute and see what's happening. Ay, ay. I don't know what happened here. It looks like just too much paint. It's okay. I didn't expect this to be quick. All right, let's move on in case part of the issue was that the desk was wet when I just did that. I didn't think of that. Okay. I'm just gonna leave that spot right now. I don't wanna overwork it. That's weird. I wonder what that is. I think I am gonna hit the edges with a little bit of this because I wasn't able to distress it back. All right, I'm gonna move the desk a bit. I know it looks splotchy on camera. I'm trying not to look at that because it doesn't look as splotchy here, and this is just the first pass. My head, sorry, is not like in the middle of the... That was a little bit too much of a dry brush. I was gonna do this with Dark and Decrepit, and now I'm really glad that I didn't because it would have been... I just have been loving Dark and Decrepit lately, but it would have been much harder to manipulate, I think, because it's got the top coat built right in. And clearly I don't have this finished down to a science, so I am not ready for built-in top coat. But actually, other than this part that I wiped off and redid right in here, the rest of it I think is what I want. So let's just take that part off again, and then when it dries, I will go back and put in some sharp lines that don't look all dull. Feedback. So let's see, so I can't add the speckles just yet because I really need this to dry right there. So let's add, thank you, Suzanne. I gotta do the legs and everything too in the back. Wow, that stayed pretty wet there. Let's do this. that's what happened. I actually kind of like the wiped off effect too. Oh shoot. What do you guys think? I don't know, the wiped off one doesn't look like the picture. All right, that feels dry now. I'm pretty sure there was like a coat of water on it before. There we go. My brush is pretty dry, so I'm just going over. It's picking up because there's a little bit of texture. I actually rolled this on. And I think there's no way to not make it a little stripy, but I also think it's okay because of the toothbrush part. All right. What do we think? We got that. I'm still have to add the speckles and this, which I'm not going to smudge the colors of. So let's add these and add the speckles with my ergonomically correct toothbrush here and see. Oh shoot, that was a lot. I'm gonna have to wipe off that big drip there. I think I got more paint on my finger than I do on the desk, but I also have a couple of spots right there that are, I don't know if the camera's down here, but I got a couple of, oh shoot, a couple of big splatters there. All right, how's that? I don't want to do too much splatter. Have I lost everyone? You could also, I mean, I might also do like a light sanding over it. I don't know, I think it looks kind of cool. Yeah, it does look like worm. Well, I'm going for wormholes. There's a couple of big wormholes, but I think I might pick them off after instead of rubbing them in. So what I have left to do now, where's the wet, is the tray, which pulls out. Let's see if I can slide this back without losing. I've got this on these wheels. Yep, and they never stay on the wheels. Wheels are sometimes rather useless. Fell off. I'm just going to move it off the wheel so I can do this part, and then of course one wheel is going to stay on so it's nice and uneven. All right, so now I just have this part which I couldn't get out, and it's kind of hard to reach in that part, but let's see how we do. Well, let's see how I can do that. I am going to use the same brush. The issue is, well, actually, who's going to even see in there? So there's a back. I can't even see what I just did or didn't do, actually. this side. I don't have anything angled. That would work on this, because I want, you know, you need a nice flat. But that's coming out very uneven. I don't know why. So let's try to fix that. Are you guys getting ready for Christmas and doing any Christmas things at home or in your shops? I have to tag my Christmas stuff and get it in ASAP, like tomorrow. All right, you don't want to see my head, which I'm pretty sure you're probably seeing. But now that it's colder, I kind of don't mind. I'm getting in the spirit a little bit, although we don't get our tree till after Thanksgiving usually. Oh my gosh, okay. So I'm gonna let that dry and then go over it a little again with some of the dark, just to get some cleaner lines there, and then spatter that. And then I have to do the legs. I guess I'm gonna need a cloth for the legs. All right, well, I feel like I can't really speed. Let's look at the dry one over here, and then I think we're gonna be done, because other than that, I know this was kind of short, but here's the dried one, and I think this is probably good and done, and it blends well with that. I don't know, I hope she likes it. I'm not gonna seal it until I get the okay, because I can rub it off. And my feelings aren't easily hurt, so it's okay if it's not, if she doesn't think it's fabulous. Okay, well, thanks for watching, you guys. So I was on Fridays, and now I'm going to be on every other Wednesday at 11. I'm really excited. Go give a follow to my page if you're not already. I'll take ideas for projects. Usually I do whatever's kind of going on in my workshop or in my shop. Whatever it is that I'm working on. So if there's something in particular you want to see, if you have a picture you want to give me, and you know, we can play Let's Nail This every other Wednesday, that's fine too. Okay, have a great day, you guys. Stay warm, be well, and I'll see you in 2 weeks. Bye-bye.